with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today, and got me 3 loads of dirt in here and started my leveling process. Now you can see we're close, but I still need, we'll probably say about 4 more loads to be able to get this grade right. Like I said, I want to get it flat with the road and come all the way out. It'll have a gradual slope from there to there. So it's going to take a little bit more dirt. I'm still just a little bit low, kind of right here in the middle. And here's my high spot out here. And of course, when I get the dirt in, I'm going to actually probably get a couple extra loads and just kind of spread it out over here. That way I'll have it over the entire area. I'm going to kind of use my ABI as a subsoiler, and I'll explain that later. And we're going to go over the whole place here and really break it up pretty deep. And we will level it back out. Not going to laser grade it, because remember, all I'm going to do is kill it off next spring. To better put Bermuda. I'll do the laser grading part then. Now let's see what we're working with here. You can see what I got and what I brought in. We've got a local company down the street that has mulch and that kind of thing, and what this is it is native clay with a really good compost mixed in. Don't hold me to it, but I think there's a touch of sand in the mix. I'm not sure. But this is what they call their screen topsoil mix. It is super good to go and kind of start the process of getting the dirt right, simply because I'm bringing in some good dirt, right? And of course, even though I've got a little bit of that on top, I've still got this up under it. And I don't expect the roots of my turf to only grow in that. They're gonna have to grow in this as well. So we're going to have to do a lot of humic applications to get this ground right, because I'm going to tell you what, it's pretty bad. Not to mention, it is absolutely rock hard. So I come up in here, I think the lighting might be a little bit better. It's getting dark outside, and it won't be long when we head home. It's been a long day, long week. But I just want to kind of go over the plans for out there. Now I know I told you we were going to put ryegrass, okay, over the winter and the fall, with the intention of converting it to 100% Bermuda in the spring. Well, I've had to change my mind for a couple of reasons. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put fescue out there. We're gonna put turf type tall fescue, the GCI Turf blend. Now, if you've been following me and keeping up with the videos, you know back at the house, I've got that Kentucky Bluegrass plot, and we've pretty much killed off 3 areas. Well, the reason for that is those 3 varieties, or 2 of those varieties, we just can't get. They're not readily available. And something has come up with the fescue that's kind of putting it in the same boat. Long time ago, 14 years ago or so, the first bag of grass seed I ever bought in my life was a bag of Falcon 3 tall fescue, turf type tall fescue, and it was just a single variety. And I killed off my original house, my starter house, my wife and I, you know, the front door house. I killed that yard off, and it was 100% Falcon 3. And man, I was just so in love with that grass, and it just looked so good and performed so well, and man, it just did everything I wanted it to do. And that was what kind of started intriguing me about looking into different varieties of grass seed. You know, varieties are kind of like people. We're all people, but we're kind of different. You know, this guy may be a little tougher than this guy. This guy may be a little smarter than this guy, you know, whatever. The grass seed's no different. You know, it's all grass seed, it's all fescue. It's just the varieties are a little bit different, like people are different. So as time went on, I started, you know, trying out these other varieties and stuff. That's kind of how it led into making my own grass seed so we could use it for our business. And then I kind of, you know, handpicked the ones I like best and blah, blah, blah. You know the story. You know, well, like most anything, as time goes on, things get older and they kind of phase out and they move them aside and bring in something new. Think about your iPhone. Now, no offense, Droid people, or Google Pixel, whatever the other phone is, no offense here. So look at it this way. Can you go to the Apple store today and can you buy a brand new iPhone 4? Or iPhone 4S, remember that one? I can't remember which one my wife had. She had one of them. I had a BlackBerry at the time, one with a little ball on it, and I was so in love with it, didn't want to get rid of it. But she got her iPhone, I fell in love with it, so I got I think my first one was iPhone 5 maybe. But can you go to the Apple store and buy a brand spanking new, freshly manufactured, direct from Apple iPhone 4? Well, of course you can't, because they don't make it no more. To my knowledge, they don't. It's kind of out of date. They've got something newer, bigger, better, stronger, faster, prettier, the whole 9 yards. Well, grass seed is not all that different from that. And what I mean by that is, you have these farmers out in Oregon, okay, and they have these massive fields of nothing but single variety fescues and bluegrasses and ryegrasses, and it's a big to-do out there. I mean, all these different fields everywhere, and man, I would love to go there one day. But two of the varieties that are in the GCI blend, the farmers have decided they're not going to grow them anymore. And it's strictly and simply because they're older varieties. They've kind of been pushed out of the way by some newer stuff, tougher stuff, stronger stuff, better color, the whole 9 yards, and there's just not the demand for it. So with that said, the Falcon 3 and the Rendition that has kind of been in the GCI mix since day one, they're just simply not available anymore. You can't buy them. So what we did is I got up with my seed guys and I said, look, if we're going to have to, if our hands are tied and we have to change the mix in the fescue blend, this is what I want to do. I want some good ideas. I want some very high scores on the NTEP trials, because back in the day, when the Falcon 3 and the Rendition were kind of popular, they were high scores on the NTEP trials. And of course, they've stood the test of time. They've been that old grunt that just won't go away. They've been exceptional grass seed, but again, we can't get it no more. So it doesn't matter how great it is when you can't get it. One cool thing about it is, and you're gonna see this next year, okay? In a future video, I'll explain to you the blue tag process, okay? Meaning, instead of it just having a label, they stick a blue tag on it and it kind of certifies it. And I'll explain that in another video, because that's going to take me a minute to explain that process from start to finish. It's very detailed, very in-depth. And this new mix is able to be blue tag certified. So, whereas my previous one wasn't, and I'll explain that in another video. That's really cool. So at some point in 2020, it's going to convert over to a blue tag mix. And again, this mix is just like the other one, 0 weed, 0% other crop. So that's the scoop on the current fescue mix. And if you want to know more about in detail, go to my website, GCITurfCabinet.com, go under grass seed, and I'll have the information there where you can read it and check it out. So as of Monday, September the 9th, 2019, the fescue bluegrass mix is available. There is a limited supply. When it sells out, there will be no more, okay? Because it has two of those varieties that are no longer available. They saved some, pulled some back, because I had already told everybody that, hey, we're going to have a GCI bluegrass mix, and then just out of the blue, just crazy coincidence, the farmers are not selling it anymore, or not growing it anymore to sell. So they actually held back enough. I think they have about 7.5 pallets roughly. There's 40 bags on the pallet. You do the math. It will have the Midnight in it, and the old Rendition and Escalade, and the Falcon 3 is absolutely no more available. They're not growing it anymore, so we upped that to the Falcon 4, which is basically a step up in the Falcon world. And then on the Kentucky Bluegrass for 2020, those two varieties we could not get them. They're just not readily available in volume or bulk or whatever you want to call it. So that is why I killed those spots off at the yard behind my building, is to plant two other varieties so that we can look at them all of next year and check them out and learn them and see what they do, because I really am trying to create a bluegrass blend that will do incredibly well in the heat. Okay, matter of fact, I've already come up with the name of it. We're going to call it GCI Turf Blue Heat. I think that'll be pretty cool. The logo's being designed for it, for like a custom logo just for the bluegrass alone. So I'm really excited about that. They shipped me I got like 4 pounds of each of the variety to put back there, so I'll be planting that as soon as I get it. The prep work is pretty much done. I'll pretty much plant it as soon as I get it, and I'll video that and talk you through it and everything. So hey, I know some folks are probably going to be like, I don't like this. And then some of it's not going to bother you one bit. I understand both ways. If you had big plans to buy the GCI Turf, and now that you know that we've had to change the variety and you don't want to buy it, I'm completely okay with that. It does not, you will not hurt my feelings one bit. I understand. But keep this in mind, it was a forced change, meaning we had no option. Well, actually I did have an option. It was either make a change and make the grass seed stronger, better, darker, better overall, or not have a grass seed to offer. That was literally my two options. So hey, thank you for watching. I appreciate you again. I'll list the details on this on the Academy site. Look for it to be Blue Tag certified 2020. Look for the video soon. I'll tell you about Blue Tag certification. Monday, September 9th, 2019, the Bluegrass Fescue blend with the Midnight is available, and my Kentucky Bluegrass varieties are on the way, so we can plant them and look at them next year. May even stick a reel mower on them next year. Matter of fact, I may even show you what real mode fescue looks like right out here. Check you later.